Vi. Good to feel you still with me. Sometimes when I come to after touching the stones, it doesn't feel like it was instantaneous. Sometimes it feels like more than a week has passed since the last time you and I communicated with each other. Bear with me. I seem to have... It seems to have affected my memory this time slightly as well. Let me check my supplies at this moment. Okay, we have enough bullets for the task at hand, but I would like to get a few more silver crucifixes before we walk out into those woods. When we were last out there, just a few seconds ago actually, Vi, I suppose, we had downed the sacrificial tree of this witch. Now we must down her. She will be similar to this tree, judging from the power she has. I can feel the magical nature of her. She will not be subtle in her attempts to defeat us. And like her spirit, we cannot allow her to touch us. My plan will be to explore the woods a little more if we can, and drop silver crucifixes in various areas to give me some warnings of where she is currently located. The witch will be quite unlike the werewolf or the sacrificial tree that we have defeated. She is faster than the tree, slower than the wolf, but she is a witch, and she will have the ability to teleport herself around. Let's step out across this bridge and see if we can't begin the hunt. Since she created a werewolf, I am judging that her magical talents deal with teleportation and summoning, for the most part. The spirit that we managed to avoid the last time we were here, if we had touched that, we would also die. So she has some death magic to her as well. We will need to avoid getting too close to her if we can. Thankfully, with you at my side or inside, the speed at which I move is increased, so we should be able to stay away from her touch. But I'll need to pay attention to her teleportation. She is able to blink about the battlefield. I think the first thing we should do is make our way to some standing stones and recover our mana. Unless we get lucky enough to defeat enough things out here first. And I would like to visit the cannon. I do think we will find something very useful inside that cave. It was sealed for a reason. Most likely there is some arcane object within it, an artifact or a book which could help us. We could use all the help we can get. And unfortunately, I see a red spirit ahead. That will restore all our mana if we can put a bullet into it. Much easier than using the sacrificial stones. Well, not easier, I misspoke. Much more efficient than using the sacrificial stones. The stones will restore all of our mana at the cost of roughly half of our life. You've phrased it as 50 life points, though I am not sure I follow what you mean when you say that, Vi. Lucifer? Good to see you again. Now, the witch hit our crucifix in the northwestern section of the woods, but she, to my knowledge, can teleport, as I've talked about briefly. This means that she is not confined to that area, and we could find ourselves having to fight her again very soon. And there is another red spirit here. I would like to avoid that one. We have no need of any more mana. Let us proceed to the cannon. In the meantime, I suppose I can try to regale you with stories about about other encounters I had with witches during my travels. It's difficult to think about these, especially in the situations that I have already not described. Most of them have been through stories I have been told, from my friend Galvin in particular. One second. Let us use your vision vi to see if we can figure out where this witch is. A path in the woods. I think she is facing north, and I believe she is still somewhere in the northern section of the woods at this moment. Galvin had encountered the witch Baba Yaga during his time in Spielberg, as we have already talked about. A quite powerful witch at that, but one given to flights of fancy, and occasionally, although she was quite vindictive, mean-spirited, and evil, she did not behave this way all the time, and she could be persuaded to help, but she was very selfish, and she would desire things in order to earn her help. I would say that, judging from the stories Galvin told me, that she and her had an understanding. They were not allies, but they did not necessarily have to be enemies either. I have several friends, some of whom are a little more mercenary in their tasks, as I had been originally. When I had originally begun my hunting of these creatures, I did so for coin and for revenge. Now, I do so for the good of all. Many people benefit from the defeating of these horrific monstrosities and the creatures that create them. Someone, however, who was extremely mercenary is I suppose we will call him a thief, named Garrett. He has fought many undead in his travels as well, and in the end, I would dare say he redeemed himself, saving the city that he was a part of, and caring for the citizens in his own way. He would not like me to say too much more about his previous exploits, but I'll talk about his his other encounters with witches. He had met a member of the Order of the Vine, a druid circle. They used blood, and they themselves would... how to describe it? They were more like dryads, or sliths, than humans after their rituals were complete. Sap was in their veins, and they could create bark on themselves as a form of armor and protection. He ended up working with one of these in the end, after being betrayed by the very witch that he decided to work with. She is here, Vi. She is here. We cannot stay. We will have to explore this later. I do not want to fight her here. Not in the woods. Not if I can help it. We got some treasure from that cave. But I think there is more within it. We will need to search it a little more thoroughly. She is coming. I'll be honest, Vi. The witch is not something I would prefer to go toe-to-toe with. Given the choice, I would much rather have our crucifixes deal with her. I believe she will be drawn to the sounds of gunfire, so she will be on her way here. I don't think she would have missed the sound of our pistol. The Order of the Vine that Garrett ended up being tricked by sought to assist a powerful demon in bringing it into this world. I suspect this witch is similar and desires to bring a demon of her own desires here for whatever purposes she just wants. Most likely the corruption and the further encroachment of these woods and the destruction of towns. The Order of the Vine does not very much like... How can I describe it? Order. Chaos, darkness, the destruction and purging of technology is something that they desire. They hate it. And we are going the right way. You're going to be passing very close to where she was. I suspect we will see her. Keep your ears primed, Vi. You don't have them. I do not want to fire my gun at this hellhound. Remember, we have full mana now, and we have the option. We have some safety. If we are killed, we should reappear somewhere else, safe and sound. I thought for sure there would be something else here, but I am mistaken. Then let us proceed more north, and we will continue to explore the woods around us. This order and the demon that they were working with, allies to, I suppose would be a better way to describe it, since they agreed on the methods and the end results of working together, was to have this creature, the trickster, gain access to a powerful artifact called the Eye. This artifact would allow the trickster to complete a ritual which would plunge the world into darkness. Or at least that area of our world. To use this artifact, however, it required an actual eye, and apparently a fresh one. Not just any. One from someone who was alive. And Victoria, I believe was her name, plucked it from Garrett's head. He got revenge on this demon by swapping this device out for another one supplied to him by a religious order known as the Hammers. I see the witch has been rather busy. I have a feeling that this gives us an idea of how these undead are created. Let us see if disturbing these goblets will provoke a response. We are likely too far away. I do not think she heard that shot. Galvin would eventually work with the Order of the Vine, however. A spider egg. These can heal you if you are wounded. Assuming you are willing to risk fighting spiders, they can be a good source to recover your life, or so you have told me. I do feel better after eating their eggs, though I try not to make a habit of it. I got violently sick the first time I had done so, and that memory tends to stick with you. Well, Vi, I do not see any other caves here, though I feel like we have probably missed something. Still, I think at this point, we should go hunt for our witch now. I would like to hold on to the mana we have recovered, I think we will try to worm our way back to the shack, then back to town, and we will purchase some more silver crucifixes and begin leaving them about the woods. I could have sworn there was something else inside that cave. I am not convinced I thoroughly searched it. I suppose we could head back there one more time. An offshoot branch of the Hammerite religion became quite troublesome to the people of the city, and it turned out that their leader, I believe his name was Karis, decided that life was too flawed to allow it to continue, and he desired to replace all the life within the city and the surrounding lands with that of mechanical, some that was mechanical in nature instead. The Order of the Vine assisted Garrett in foiling Karis's plans. Victoria herself was a part in this endeavor, and I believe sacrificed her life in order to give Garrett a chance at defeating Karis. This had some large effect on Garrett, as I could detect in his voice that he had begun developing feelings for this witch. One of the reasons why working with them is so dangerous. A witch can take whatever form she so desires. She doesn't have to look like an old hag or an evil spirit. She could look like a very beautiful girl if she so desires. But her attitude was that she wished to help, to save the city. And Garrett and her needed each other to get this task done. In the end, Garrett was victorious and managed to stop Karis, ensuring that when Karis released the gas to disintegrate anything that was alive into dust, or rust, I suppose is what it was, that this gas would be contained in its entirety into the cathedral Karis was in. And 1 second again, everyone. Now that I have returned here, I'm going to thoroughly search this place. Nothing. There is nothing here that we have not already discovered. Interesting. I thought for sure I felt something powerful in here. Perhaps it was just indeed the saving stone. Well, Vi, let us skirt this ridge and look for another cave. I got the impression there was more than one, so we will see if we can find any others. What were some other witches I have heard stories of, or encountered myself during my times, earlier times, before this hunt has occurred? Two others come to mind. When I was a child and investigating my haunted house, Another child, I had a friend. I forget her name, but she had investigated a witch house on a dare. I never saw her again after she entered that place. Yuvi, however, had told me about this encounter that she had, and which led to her eventual death, or undoing, I suppose I should say. She was a young girl, too. Couldn't have been older than 11. The witch was made of shadow, it would seem, and an absolutely terrifying visage as well. She was able to pass under doors. Her eyesight was not so great, but her hearing was very keen. My friend had basically gone into the house and was captured by her. From what you told me, Vi, she eventually managed to escape, but I got the impression from you, though you would not say exactly what happened, that she did not have a happy ending, however, to her story, and she was shortly after her escape killed. I do not like the emptiness in this area that we are in, Vi. There are no crucifixes here. I know, Vi, you are also comprised of several spirits, or so you have told me. So, perhaps some of your kin would be interested in knowing what one of you was talking about. You can find it in my own memories here, if you so desire. There is no cave on this side. At least I do not think there is. Let's double check to make sure. I apologize, Vi. We have spent a great deal of time just walking as I'm looking for a cave of some sort. Actually, it looks like there is one here. Well hidden indeed. In full view of us, I never would have seen this. It would seem that a priest had been out here to rid the town of this trouble with the werewolf, and it looks like he had been hunted and killed. I can still smell the stench of that creature here, very faint. It's unfortunate that he fell. However, we can put his knowledge to good use. The holy book that was within there has taught us a new prayer we can use to help our crucifixes, increasing their range and the holy power that they conduct. While we are here, let us go back to town. I believe she is somewhere to our northeast. We will go back to town, purchase some more bullets, and as many crucifixes as we can find, and then come back out here and place these crucifixes, and we will try to find and fight the witch. She is here. This was the area we saw her in. We must gain some distance. We have alerted several other creatures. That crimson wraith is still following us. Let us see if we can make our way to the shack, since we are here at this moment, and then fast travel back to town. Garrett encountered more than just the Order of the Vine as a witch nemesis. There was this ancient hag that he had discovered later. She was quite powerful and would use the skins of her victims to... how can I describe it? To hide herself from detection. She was immensely powerful and had quite a bit of knowledge about the runes that the organization Garrett is a part of used. The Keepers, I believe, is what he was a part of. This old hag favored a girl's corpse and flesh named Laurel, I believe was her name. Maybe she was related to my own young friend. It would seem that the story could easily be melded together to explain both of these instances, where a witch would claim the life of a young child and then use their skin tied to evade detection. She desired to live forever and become invincible to anyone's attempts to defeat her. She was quite skilled and very powerful. In the end, Garrett had used a great deal of help from other groups that he had befriended in order to defeat her, invoking a powerful ritual which involved the city itself in order to defeat her, stripping her of all her power, but in doing so, removing all the power of the runes that his organization had also used. Come, let's go back to town. While I'm here, guys, I'll talk to you in my normal voice for a brief bit. So, I'm sorry about the cave. So, my time in the past when I opened that cave, it led to there was a book or a piece of paper in there, as I think there was, which was the code that we need to use to open the safe in that house there. But it's not there this time. So it's either not present or it was moved. I'm not sure where it is any longer. I would like to actually get that book because I think I did not kill the witch when I had played this game earlier, so this is going to be a bit new. I did fight her, and she is very, very difficult. It's very difficult. I prefer my crucifixes to do the job. Alright, we get 3 crucifixes for free. We'll take 3 silver bullet packs, and I'm not going to buy any other books. Actually, we might. I think we should be able to find these books. I'll purchase even more silver crucifixes, and I want to leave these around town. Let's see how much money we get paid from the mayor, and then if we get enough to afford a book like 150, we'll come back here and probably purchase the faster reloading.
We are very grateful for everything you've done.
182 coins. That is incredible. So let's go ahead and see what this buys us. You'll note that I'm not even talking about Watcher Totems. I think this is not worth the price at all. If these were like 10 gold, yes, I would get these. I guess they're useful because it's also a save, but the Silver Crucifixes also save your game. I think after they go no, once you place them, the game gets saved. So the Watcher Totem, all this does is, when you place it, it faces the direction of where the enemy is located, and that's the only thing it does, and it does it only once, and then that's it. Yeah, the rotation does not get updated, so I don't like these at all. I think that's way too expensive for the minuscule benefit it gives you. But now we're back up to 282 bucks, so I am going to pick the fast reload. And then we've got another 132. Let's buy another Silver Crucifix. We will save our game, go back out into the woods, and begin dropping these Silver Crucifixes. And we'll get back into character when we do that as well. There is no real reason for me to save the game here in town, because I'm playing normal mode. The game will auto-save whenever I do the transition from town into the woods. In fact, arguably, I'm just going to load that save if we end up dying, for example. Or I should save on the save stone right outside town. But I like saving here. I think it's more thematic. I guess while we're here, we'll take a look really quick if we know the code. I don't think we do. Yeah, it's not written here, so I don't believe we have learned it yet. Yeah, we don't know the code of the safe. Okay, so it is somewhere, I believe it's somewhere out in those woods. I'll just have to find it. That's all there is to it. I think there is another cave against that far east side wall that we haven't found yet. I remember seeing bats fly out of it, so the code we might need is in that. But I don't remember where it is. I don't know if we found it with our character. Let's head back out there again. It would seem, Vi, that our quarry was expecting us to go back to town and is waiting for us someplace outside of it. I would like to gain the height advantage. Let us go up this hill. She might be here. I am not willing to risk using mana at this moment, though. We will hear her before we see her. I would like to leave a crucifix up here to assist us in this battle. Since the tree we fought and defeated was using some sort of acidic or poisonous spittle against us, it is my belief that other things that she can summon will do the same. She is very close, Vi. We will just leave a few crucifixes around, trying to space them far enough away from each other that they don't all activate and hurt her at the same time. I am concerned that even upon defeating her, just like Victoria, she was working in tandem with a demon. And if this is the case, I will be glad to have these crucifixes scattered over the countryside. That was the crucifix we just placed. We need more mana, Vi. We need to recover from using the save stone. I cannot look through your eyes at the moment to see where she is. I want more mana so that we can ourselves teleport. Let us head back on the ridge again. It feels to me like she would still be up there. Funny enough, from my other encounters with the witches in this area of the world, I will want something, a tree, to be able to run around to avoid her. There will be very little subtlety into her combat. She will just look to touch us. Lucifer. Let's destroy this zombie and leave a crucifix where it was currently located. So we'll leave it here. Let us go to the shed. She wasn't up here on the ridge. And now, I feel as if my mana is restored entirely. I believe she is down in this area, so we are walking towards her in a roundabout way. She is somewhere down here. What other stories of witches can I think of as long as we are passing time? Or warlocks? Warlocks are rare. There was only one time I can think of a story which we are going the wrong way. Only one time I can think of a story that involves a warlock. And it was regaled to me by that warlock. He, just I suppose as the witches, had been an ally of a demon or powerful devil of some sort, and decided to use his magic against the creature in the end, rather than side with it and rid the world of it. I was a child when this story was relayed to me. I do not remember his name. I think it was just Warlock is all that he went by. It was an interesting story. His powers seemed to rely solely on sending these magical bolts of energy, but he possessed this strange orb as well. He could use it to inflict harm on enemies, or use it to fetch things to him. It was a very strange arcane artifact. His story involved all sorts of different locations that he went through in order to find this warlock and defeat him. He would travel through rift gates and go back in time. He would fight in strange alchemy dens where mudmen were being created. Sewer systems with deadly water, dragons and gargoyles as well, and a host of other creatures that I cannot recall at this moment. he would find various items in order to assist him in his endeavor, things that we do not find any longer. I suppose traveling to other worlds or realms of existence provides this opportunity. Small orbs, which he would carry to restore his life. He too, I suppose, had his own spirits Vi that accompanied him, to let him know of such effects, or perhaps he just knows how close he is to death, and how much magical power he has, because he is more in tune with the magical world around him, unlike us. My mana is used for you, for the most part, to see through your eyes and have you invoke your special abilities to assist me. We have one silver crucifix left, Vi. I think we should place it down here in this open area. We will touch the save stone in the cave that we bombarded, and then I shall take a small rest there, and we will hopefully eliminate this witch shortly thereafter, in the next episode, everyone. I'm doing a lot of wandering around at the moment, without too much progress. I'm so sorry. But it's been fun. I really like this game. Alright, so let's leave this crucifix. Let's leave it here. It would seem that our witch is discovering the power of God. This is very much to my liking. But I will stick with what I just said. Let us touch this stone. She is at, according to you, Vi, half her life? I'm not quite sure what that means in terms of how many more silver bullets I must put into her, since we haven't put a single one into her at the moment. But I'm guessing if she was to run into another 7 or so of our crosses, that would be the end of her life as well. And Vi, give me a second. I must attune myself to this one again.